Here, I have a permit application that I would like to digitize and allow applicants to submit online. Thankfully, I know that I can do this pain-free using the GovAssist new process tool. First, I open up my process library where I can see my organization's existing processes. Then I click the Add New Process button. Here, I fill in some details about the process, like the process name, the process type, and a description. Next, I simply drop in my existing document and let GovAssist detect the available fields for me. The fields from my original document populate automatically. Now, it's my job to help the system understand how I want each field to be evaluated. Let's configure the first field, New Building Address, which was detected from the document. I'll click on the settings icon, and then I'll begin filling out the fields that help the system understand the criteria for each outcome possible. I need to define when this field should be considered incomplete, approved, denied, or marked for review. Note that I'm using simple sentences to describe my criteria. Here, I've now told the system that it should consider this field incomplete if the submission is empty or missing standard address components. This field should be considered approved when a full address with zip code within Howard County is provided. This field should be considered denied when the address is not within Howard County. And this field should be marked for review when the address zip code matches a zip code that overlaps with another county. Note that in my descriptions, I'm referring to some external knowledge that the system doesn't yet have access to, such as which zip codes are within Howard County. Let's now continue to our knowledge section. This is where I can add external knowledge to the field to be checked against this specific field. Here in this Excel sheet, I've provided a list of Howard County zip codes, and I've also provided a list of Howard County zip codes that overlap with other counties. With this information, the system will have all of the available context to properly categorize and determine an outcome for this field. Next, I'll copy the link to this Excel sheet within my SharePoint account. And then back in my process creation wizard, I'll select SharePoint as my knowledge type, and I'll provide that SharePoint URL that I just copied to my clipboard. Next, I want to give the system some more description on how it should use this document or this Excel sheet to validate the field that the applicant has submitted. Now that this field has been configured, I can continue to repeat that process for all of the available fields. Next, I want to provide an overall description of what this permit is and any nuanced information that the system should consider when evaluating. I also have the option to upload an attachment instead of a direct description. Finally, I can select the process type, which will determine how this new form is submitted or captured from an applicant. If I were to pick SharePoint as my process type, I could then select a folder from my connected SharePoint of which physical PDFs or other documents could be uploaded to that SharePoint folder and automatically processed against the preset criteria I just configured. However, in this case, I'd like to digitize my PDF form and provide it as a web form that applicants can submit directly from a website. After selecting web form, I can click Save, and I can view the form created automatically from submitting my original PDF document.